All right, here we go. Just a couple of things I want to quickly read. One from a friend in Australia, Father,
Yes.
who says, I had a Jesuit priest tell me more of the third secret of Fatima years ago in Perth. He said, among other things, the last pope would be under control of Satan. Pope John fainted, thinking it might be him. We were interrupted before I could hear the rest. Any comment on that?
Yes. It sounds as if they were reading or being told the text of the third secret.
Oh, my.
It sounds like it, but it's sufficiently vague to make one hesitate.
Yes.
It sounds like it.
All right, and then just this one as well. This is from Dan in Davenport, Iowa. It says, I was told by an old Catholic priest while I was stationed in Asia in the late 70s that in the last days, nature will attack everything we have and know, and that all food will be gone. Starving will be so widespread that families will eat other members of their families, my God, just to stay alive. This madness will be so widespread there will be no place that will be safe and no place to hide until all the peoples who do not believe in God are dead. Then life can start anew.
No, that's not
Part of it.
It's not part of it.
But that first one...
Yes, it is. And there's a certain element in the second one which is near the truth.
Okay. And I'm sorry to be pushing on this.
No, don't be sorry at all. I wish to God you hadn't got to push. You know?
Okay, west of the Rockies, you're on the air with Father Malachi Martin. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. This is Joseph from Hawaii.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Joseph.
Good morning, Father. Good morning, Art. I have a question, Father. I'm a little confused. When you say you have no authority to reveal the secret,
yes.
Wasn't the secret revealed to the nun and then on to a pope, and then wasn't it supposed to be revealed to the public at first, and
yes,
now it's suppressed by the church?
Yes.
It was supposed to be revealed to the public in general.
Isn't that the authority from the higher entity?
No, that doesn't give me authority.
Okay, I'm just a little confused. It seems like I'm not clear on the story, but...
What he's saying, I think, Father, is that if God's original wish was for it to be revealed then,
yes,
and it was not,
yes,
then is not the authority present now as it was then?
Well,
exactly.
For it to be revealed. Is that correct?
I see his argument. It's a very forcible argument, and many people would agree with him.
And with all due respect, Father, if you don't reveal the secret, and if the secret is held, wouldn't the members of the Catholic Church be perpetuating the suppression of the secret?
Of the truth, yes, of course. Yes, of course they are.
So therefore, it should be told.
But in the Catholic Church, we work through the hierarchy, beginning with the Pope and the bishops. And I cannot take to myself the authority to overrule them. I think they should be overruled, but I haven't got the authority to do that. I wish I had, Joseph. I wish I had. I haven't. I haven't got even the authority to authorize exorcisms unless I have it from a bishop. Mm-hmm. In this case, the Bishop of Rome.
All right, I understand that answer.
Authority is a very, very fixed thing, because I have no other guide on this face of this earth except the voice of the Roman teaching, the Magisterium Romanum, as we call it.
All right, Father. First-time caller line, you're on the air with Father Malachi Martin. Hi.
Good morning, Father.
Morning.
My name's John.
Where are you, John?
I'm in Miami Shores.
Miami, all right.
And I want to thank Father for some of the books he's written, particularly The Keys of This Blood.
Thank you, John.
I've always been very interested in politics and world politics, and he filled in a lot of the questions that had always bothered me from childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And I encourage you to continue with your writing.
Shall do, please, God.
And, I was going to ask about, he may have been a saint by the same name that you have, Malachi of Ireland?
Yeah, Malachi, yes. He was a different... Yeah, he was a bishop.
And he referred to final pope, a pope like Peter of Rome? Is there
Yes,
anything
he
to
did.
that?
He has a list of popes. The only thing about that list of popes is he doesn't say that he has all the popes in it.
I see.
But he does refer to the two last popes, and he gives the Latin sort of names. And Petrus Romanus is the last pope, and the one preceding him is Gloria Olivae, the glory of the olive. These are all names, and actually the names Malachi gives to a certain amount of popes, St. Malachi does, they're very interesting names, and they always fit. For instance, the present pope, he described as Labor Solis. And Labor Solis is the classical American Latin expression for an eclipse of the sun. And in fact, the day that John Paul II was born, there was an eclipse of the sun. Amazing. It's a very funny list of names. But it's not complete. That's the only thing, John.
Now, this talk of making Mary a co-redemptrix,
yes.
would that
they're not talking of making her that. A lot of people say we should acknowledge that she is. But there are difficulties in the way.
Now, is there something like I once heard from one of the sisters? I went to Catholic schools in Massachusetts that saying the Rosary might help make God's path become reality. Are there? I know you're reluctant to share what's in the letter, and I guess the die is cast when John the 23rd decided not to publish it at that time.
There's nothing about the Rosary in the secret.
But is there any positive step a believing person can do to help perhaps reduce the suffering of others? Or
yes, there is, and there's a whole literature on that, John, which you can read, and it's published by various organizations. One is called the Blue Army, another is called escapes me for a moment. There's several books and pamphlets and periodicals and magazines published that explain how we can. And there's lots of instruction on that.
The Blue Army, is that something I would be able to find in a Christian bookstore, or Catholic bookstore?
Yes, you should.
All right.
It's headed by a man called Nicholas Gruner, Father Nicholas Gruner.
And I appreciate the opportunity to ask you these questions, but
thank God, Bell. He's our creator.
There's a movement. I didn't see much of it in Massachusetts, but here in Florida, there's a church. Actually, it's not a Catholic church; it's a shrine, and they do the old Roman rite, the Roman Mass.
Joseph, for your information, I say the Roman Mass every morning. Well, now it's time I'll be saying it.
It feels. I don't know if it's because they changed the Mass when I was in the third grade. But it feels more wholesome to me. Is it all right to take that path as opposed to
between you and me and the Holy Spirit? It's the only Mass.
All right. I appreciate your call. Father, I said I would ask this, and so I'm going to ask it. I have people of many stripes and opinions and beliefs on this program.
Sure.
Dear Art, would you please ask Father Martin his opinion of Benjamin Krim and this Lord Maitreya, supposedly alive and well in London? Does Father Martin consider Lord Maitreya to be the Antichrist?
No, he's not.
Do you have any comments beyond that?
Lord Krim and the Maitreya are fulfilling a certain function pre-Antichrist.
Pre-Antichrist.
Yeah, but they're not the Antichrist.
All right, we'll leave it right there. And one other question. Today, certain prophetic scholars are very much interested in why Gorbachev and the present Pope, John Paul, are in discussions, or more clearly, sharing the Russian language, which they can speak and few understand around them. Why are they in talks?
They're in talks because John Paul's concept of Gorbachev's function is that in reality he is destined to exercise a certain role in the creation of the New World Order And John Paul II is very keen on participating in the New World Order.
I had a feeling that might be exactly what you were going to say.
Yep.
Wildcard line, you're on the air with Father Malachi Martin. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. This is Barbara in Tulsa.
Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I had a question for Father Malachi, a quick one about Fatima, and then I'd like to relate something that happened here in the house that was kind of frightening, and I wanted his opinion.
Sure.
On Fatima, Father Malachi, can you tell us if our country, the United States, is mentioned specifically in the secret?
No, it's not mentioned specifically, but something very relevant to the States is mentioned.
I see. I wanted to call on your professional experience as an exorcist to get your opinion about what happened here. I'll try to be fast. I know the airtime is precious.
Please.
It concerns my mother. She's 83 in good health, but she is demented.
Yeah.
I took her to the front room for her afternoon nap. This is a couple of months ago. Put her on the sofa. I left. I was halfway down the hall when I heard a horrible shriek. I ran back to the room, and she was in total body violent convulsions. I had never seen this before.
Body convulsion.
Yes, Father.
Yes.
It was so violent that I was afraid to try to put her shoulders down on the sofa for fear I might break one of her bones or even one of mine.
Yes, yes.
It was just horrible. She was shrieking the entire time. I'd never heard her shriek. She's not a screamer, never has been, even before she became ill. This went on for 3 or 4 minutes when suddenly she collapsed backwards and her head fell slightly to the left. The color drained out of her face. It turned a yellow-gray. I beg your pardon?
What's your question about all that?
Okay, what happened afterwards, Father? Yeah. I'm looking down into her eyes. I didn't know what to do. I'd never seen anyone die. Suddenly, a small white ridge formed along the lower edge, the lower eyelid from the white tissue of the eyeball. It was in a horizontal plane from the nose to the ear. This began to move slowly up through the white tissue, through the iris of the eye, and the eyes turned yellow. The pupil disappeared. There was just a fuzzy outline around the eye. I thought, is this what happens to everyone when they die? Or I didn't know what to do.
Did she die?
No, she didn't. I thought she was dead. Art, she was still as a stone, and all the color left her face. It turned this awful yellowish gray.
All right, well, okay. I can almost answer that. I would say that a medical diagnosis is required long before you would get to the consideration of an exorcism.
Spiritual, yes.
There are many older people in this country now, worldwide, in fact. We're living longer, and dementia occurs. Dementia of various sorts begins to occur in people, and it's very easy to mistake that for something that would require an exorcism. And you'd have to go an awful long way before you would make that determination. Is that correct?
He's right, ma'am. He's right.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a very frightening thing.
Sure.
But as we say, it would be a good physical examination, first of all, with a competent doctor. Have you done that?
No, she's now gone.
She's now gone,
yeah.
But you're right, Art. I totally, you said what I would have said. That was my commentary on it.
And you can't do that kind of diagnosis on the phone anyway.
No, you can't.
East of the Rockies, you're on there with Father Malachi Martin. Hello.
Hi, good morning, Father Martin.
Morning.
Where are you, sir?
I'm calling from Hyattsville, Maryland.
Hyattsville, Maryland. You're going to have to yell at us. I can barely hear you.
Very faint.
Stuart from Hyattsville, Maryland. I have one question about angels. Now, I've been spared by seconds twice in my life. And I know you believe in angels, but I have no perception of anyone looking after me. But my life has been spared. Any comment?
He's asking, Father, about guardian angels.
Yes. Yeah, I heard him. What I got was that he has no perception that anybody is taking care of him.
Right.
Well, that's a common perception, all right. But he should cultivate his angel. How do you cultivate him? You pray to him and ask his intercession. And you do something in his honor. You say a prayer in his honor, or you visit a church in his honor. Cultivate him, and he will talk.
That's remarkable advice. I had a guest on Sunday. Brad Steiger is his name. He's a well-known author.
Yes.
And he believes firmly in guardian angels, but the one caution that he gave out is never pray to your guardian angel.
I know. Well, there are those of us who pray continually to our angels. I don't know why Rod really forbids that. It's against all the practice in the Catholic Church. You don't pray to them as God. You pray to them as an angel, especially consigned to take care of you. But I'd love to hear Rod's reason for that. I really would.
Actually, Brad Steiger. People confuse him with Rod Steiger.
Oh,
Brad Steiger.
It's Brad Steiger.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to know why you would say that.
All right. Back now to Father Malachi Martin.
Yes.
Father, welcome back. As always, the time just flies by.
It always goes like a dream.
It really does. Here in the middle of the night. All right. Well, I have people lined up by the gazillion to talk to you. First time caller line. You're on the air with Father Malachi Martin. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. Good morning, Father Malachi.
Good morning.
And God bless you for giving all your time on Art's show, and I admire your stamina and your patience.
Well, that's Art. Really.
Okay, my query is, about a year and a half ago, I read an interesting article in a publication that's dedicated to psychic phenomena, UFOs, hauntings, exorcisms, etc. And this... in this magazine, there was a story about the death of the previous Pope, that he was discussing certain problems of the Vatican with the Secretary of State, who is also a cardinal, I believe. Yeah. And that night, he had these papers, this edict that he was going to read before the heads of the church, the popes and the bishops and the cardinals. And he had discovered, the Pope, a scandal in the Vatican bank, money laundering, involving cardinals and 2 mafia bankers. Yeah. Also, the Pope wanted to lower the ban on contraception. Yeah. And because of this, he was poisoned by the cardinals. Now, have you read this story or heard about it?
Yes, I have. The one I'm recollecting with all those details is a book by a man called David Yallop.
Mm-hmm. I see. And
is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, I believe that is. And actually, this was all predicted by Nostradamus.
Yes, a lot of it was predicted, but Nostradamus can be read more than one way, But to get back to the actual Yallop theory, there are a lot of things in David Yallop that are unsubstantiated. Like, for instance, he says that he spent, I think, 200 hours talking to the secretary of that Pope who died after 34 days as Pope. But I know that secretary very well. He never saw Yallop's face or heard his voice. But as regards we didn't need anything to tell us that there were Vatican scandals about money. As of 1974, 75, there's been a lot of trouble with money. The death of that Pope John Paul I, is very suspicious.
Yeah. It also said that when the housekeeper came in the morning and discovered the Pope was dead, he was still clutching those papers that he was going to read before the hierarchy of the church, and there was a medicine bottle on the table, which was poison, and that's how he was killed through poison. And they said when he was injected with embalming fluid because they didn't want to have an autopsy that would reveal the poison in his bloodstream. Now, is that true?
I've heard all these stories myself, Father.
Yeah. They some of them are accurate, some of them are inaccurate. Certain it is that there's some mysterious circumstances in the death of that Pope. He didn't die naturally. Nobody believes he did. The details are left to the imagination of people like David Yallop. I've nothing to share on that at all, except to say that John Paul I was probably done in. Who did it? Well, if you were to ask my opinion, but it takes a long time to explain if we haven't got that time, it's a lot of men within and outside the Vatican who could not put up with the reforms that he was going to inaugurate.
And I asked you this earlier, you don't really rule out that kind of violence in the coming days, do you?
No, I do not. No, I do not.
Wildcard line, you're on the air with Father Malachi Martin. Where are you calling from, please? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, that's
I'm
you.
sorry. I'm calling from Red Bluff, California,
Okay.
and I heard the Father refer a previous caller to literature by the Blue Army.
Yes.
I was wondering if he is aware that the Blue Army was on a lecture circuit in the mid-'70s revealing the third secret of Fatima, and if he is aware of that, if that is accurate.
Yes. Father Gruner and his organization never revealed the actual text. The actual text.
I attended a lecture in the mid-'70s, and I don't remember it all, unfortunately. I think most of it was so frightening I just actually couldn't comprehend it. The only two things I remember that he said, it referred to a lot of civil unrest, and that children would be disobedient to their parents, and they would be tattooing their bodies and piercing their bodies, and children would be killing children.
Yes.
And those are the only two things that I seem to recall.
Remember. Yeah.
Is
it's
that
not. It's not the actual content of the letter. We have children killing children, unfortunately.
Yes.
But no, that's not the sensational part of the third secret, as far as I remember, ma'am.
All right. East of the Rockies, good morning. You're on the air with Father Malachi Martin. Where are you, please?
Yes, I'm from Kansas City.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, Father Martin, it's a great pleasure to hear you, talk.
Thank you very much for saying that.
And my question, and maybe I have a comment afterwards, is that can you see the Pope at some time or another, at one point, giving up the secret of the third?
Pope? No.
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 Okay. My comment is, Art, is that if what I've been hearing on the rest of your programs,
Yes.
with the Major and Scanlon and the rest of it,
Yes.
if that's leading up to what the third secret,
Yes.
and the third secret, what you read, according to Father Martin,
Yes.
is sort of a mild version of
Yes.
what it says.
Yes.
I don't think I want to hear what the third secret is.
Well,
very understandable, sir. Very understandable. It has not added to the sum of my happiness to have read it.
would you say that in a lot of ways, Father, that the world is better off not knowing? I mean, that almost has to be what the popes have decided, that the world is better off not knowing.
Yes, that's what the popes have decided. Against that stands the order, which apparently the Queen of Heaven, as Catholics call her, gave to the Pope through the children. Publish it.
Yes.
That's the difficulty. That's the only difficulty I have.
And it's a big one.
Yep.
West of the Rockies, you're on the air with Father Malachi Martin. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, where are you?
I'm Lenore in San Diego.
San Diego, okay.
And my question, Father Martin,
Yes.
is Our Lady of Medjugorje, in one of her
Yes.
sayings to the children, was that if we return to God
Yes.
and change our lives to reflect that return to God,
Yes.
and pray enough,
Yes.
perhaps God would not send the comet. And I'm wondering if the comet has anything to do with the third secret.
No, ma'am. The comet is not mentioned, and the difficulties, or as they call them, the chastisements, the punishments mentioned in the third secret, are not those caused by a comet impacting on the earth.
Do you know of anything else? The only time I've ever heard anything about a comet was in that one statement she said to the children several years ago.
Yeah, I have a difficulty about Medjugorje. I'm since it has not been sanctioned by the church, by church authority, I can't rely upon it. I can't rely upon it.
It hasn't been denied by the church either. And
no, it hasn't. You're quite right.
I've had major spiritual, joyful, deeply gratitudinal feelings.
And millions have also.
Yeah.
Millions have also. The unfortunate thing is that the church has not approved of it yet, and I'm afraid to trust myself,
Oh, I understand.
But that's...
My experience is very deeply involved, though. I absolutely believe it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and take care. First-time caller line, you're on the air with Father Malachi Martin. Hello.
Hello, Art. This is Wayne, somewhere in Kentucky, trucking across America.
In a truck in Kentucky somewhere, okay?
Yeah, question for Father. Isn't it written in the good book that evil has to be requested to come into your home?
Yes, it is.
In regards to Benjamin Grimm of last week there, this malevolent spirit of his, it's waiting for everybody to request it to come into their home through one of these NBC, ABC, or something like that. Wouldn't you consider that evil requesting to come into everybody's home by turning on the channel?
Well, I didn't hear this particular broadcast, so I'm not able to say.
Well, this is with regard to Benjamin Grimm and Lord Maitreya.
Yeah, what did Benjamin Grimm say?
Well, he said that when the world is ready or requests it, that this Maitreya will make himself known through some large broadcast media to the world.
Oh, I see. Well, if he said that, let's wait and see.
That's all. That's all we can do.
That's all we can do.
Wildcard line, you're on the air with Father Malachi Martin. Hello.
Good morning, Father Malachi.
Morning.
And Art.
Yes, sir.
Pax Dominus Vobiscum.
Ecco Spiritu.
Thank you. You don't know what that means to me. Hey, have you ever, one question I'd like to find out is, I've heard a story about a pope from the mid-9th century, a Pope John, who, like 856, 876, something like that, was discovered to be a woman.
No, that's a mistake. That's a famous mistake. If Art gives me 2 minutes, I'll explain how the mistake arose.
Go right ahead, Father.
The popes at that time used, as their throne, chairs made of a stone called porphyry. Porphyry is a very precious stone. The Romans had a series of porphyry chairs and thrones made, and they all had a hole in the middle. And he used to use one of these thrones, and they said that it was because he was very effeminate. His name was John. I forget which John the First or John the Third or something like that. I just forget momentarily. But he wasn't a woman, no. There was never a Pope Joan. Much at all as a lot of people would like that to happen. There was a Protestant historian in the 19th century called Harnack. And Harnack had a healthy dislike of the Roman Catholic Church. And he wrote the definitive book about Pope Joan, demolishing the myth. And if anybody would have liked to create or foment the story, it would have been Harnack. But he came to the conclusion that it was a total fabrication.
Wow. All right.
There were lewd stories told about him. The purpose of the whole being to masturbate, etc. I wasn't going to shock your audience with all that details. Yes.
All right. Wildcard line, you're on the air with Father Malachi Martin. Good morning.
So let me turn my radio down.
Yes, thank you.
Father.
Yes.
Yeah, I was wondering, if I read Revelation 12, would I be fairly more enlightened as to the aspect of the third secret? Would that help?
Well, Sister Lucia, who wrote down the third secret, says that the whole of the secret is contained in chapters, I think it's 12 to 17 of the book of Revelation.
Okay, that's starting to make absolute sense.
Have you seen the painting of her last vision?
Is it a woman clothed with the 12 stars? That the sign in
No.
sorry.
It's the crucifixion with Our Lady.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Try and get a hold of that picture. It's her last vision in 1929.
I will do. That's great news. And can I ask you another question? Because sometimes you say this Pope is more attuned with the New World Order, but in other places, and I may have been misreading this, you say that he's opposed to it at the same time. Am I misreading?
No, he's opposed to certain things in it.
Oh, certain things, yes.
Yeah, certain things in it. But his attitude is we can't stop the New World Order.
Right.
And it's here anyway.
So he's trying to align the church with it.
He's trying to make do with it.
Right. Hey, great. And thank you about that Revelations. I'll be checking into that. I had a funny feeling about that. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. A good lead. East of the Rockies, you're on there with Father Malachi Martin and not a lot of time. Hello.
Hello?
Hi. Turn your radio off, please.
Just a minute.
Okay. Everybody should
hello.
do that right away.
Hello.
Hi.
Father Malachi Martin?
Yes.
I wanted, it's nice to meet you. I listen every time you're on. I learn something new from you every time I hear you. I wanted to know this vision you talked about in Garibaldi.
Garabandal.
Where can I find written literature about it? Is it sanctioned by the church?
Write me a short note with your name and address, and I'll send you back the relevant details.
Okay.
Write it at 217 East 66th Street, New York, 10021. And mention your name.
10021.
And mention your name and your request, and I'll send you back the details, promise you.
Oh, yeah, by the way, my name is Bonnie, and I'm calling from Philadelphia.
Oh, God bless you, Bonnie.
Yeah, another thing that bothers me, and it's bothered me all along about this third secret, is the child still alive, the one who became a nun?
Yes, she is. She's 89. She lives in Coimbra.
My God.
Wow.
My God. Has she ever said how she feels about the church not publishing the third
No,
secret?
she keeps very quiet for the simple reason that she's been muzzled by the Vatican.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing that bothers me about this is if the church is going against what God has told them He wants them to do.
Yeah, in other words, what
their people are out here and they see this. How do they expect us to keep following them in absolute faith?
Bonnie, what I want to say to you is, it's not the church, it's churchmen.
Uh-huh.
They are being unfaithful to their vocation.
Yeah, but it seems like it's been so many.
You're telling Gus, whoever Gus was. I know that's our difficulty. That's what in the last 3 or 4 hours, Art and I were discussing, and I summarized it all by saying we are in apostasy to a large degree.
And the last thing I wanted to ask you, is there anything that we can do as individuals other than praying to avert what is coming in that third secret?
We can't avert it now. It is coming. When is something else? But it is coming for sure. We can mitigate it. We can mitigate it slightly, if you know what I mean. We can't avert it.
Is the only thing we can do is pray?
Pray, go to communion, say a rosary, cultivate the saints, stay in the state of grace, do good, visit the sick, visit those in prison, do corporal works of mercy. In other words, Bonnie, we know what to do exactly if we want to do it.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be an easy time.
No, it doesn't seem like we're in very easy times now anyway.
No.
Yeah.
But,
Bonnie, thank you.
Thank you, Art. Bye-bye.
Right, take care. Father, is there any circumstance under which you can imagine that you would feel free to reveal the secret?
Yes. If there was a total collapse at the center.
And you anticipate that, don't you?
I anticipate there's a possibility, Art. I can't, I can't predict, but I anticipate there's a possibility, certainly, yes. I do.